my goodness, this is my first YouTube channel. Like, I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I wanted to welcome you guys to Cherry Claws by Ken. I have already been doing nails, but I feel like now I'm in my era where I just want to document everything and just show y'all how I roll. So today's inspo is going to be based off Malika's baby shower. If you guys know who that is, Khloe Kardashian's best friend. I was like, oh, this would be kind of cute. Give a little teddy bear vibe. I don't know. I just feel like the nudes and browns was really cute. So I really want to recreate that in nails. So first, I'm going to show y'all what I do, how I start my nails. I've been using a peel-off base because I'm trying to get those nails to be healthy. All right, so let's get started. As you see, I am putting cuticle oil because I am in my journey of wanting to heal my nails and prevent them from being brittle. Look at those. We're working on it. We're getting better. First, I'm going to size my nail tips. I use gelx nails. These nails are the round long from the Additude shop, and I will go ahead and link that under this video. What you see me doing is looking at my nails, making sure that these nails are sized perfect, and make sure that it covers sidewall to sidewall. If it's not covering the whole nail, put it back because it's not going to work, I promise you. And if you're in between sizes like me, what I do is I'll take the bigger size and I will just file it down, which you'll see here in a second. So I always make sure to get my sizes right, and both of my hands are different, so I do size both hands. And that's just what it is. So yeah. So after buffing out my nails and sizing them correctly, I'm going to take a brush and just make sure I get the rest of that dust off. I hate having dust under my gelx nails. And sometimes I will miss a spot and find it and I'm just like, great. So I am very, very clean, if you will, when it comes to making sure there's no dust. Next, you're going to see me file the cuticle part of the tip. I love a flushed cuticle, okay? So that means I'm going to thin out the edge of the tip as much as I can without breaking it off. So you'll see me take my mandrel and a sanding band and making sure I go around that cuticle part as well as etching the inside of the tip. Please listen to me when I tell you that if you do not etch the inside of the tip either physically or chemically, your nails will pop off. Okay, I've done this many times. I know that it will come off. I've had it happen a lot. So I am so strict when it comes to etching the inside. I personally just use a sanding band, but I know a lot of people will use the Apres Prime. I think it's like a Apres Primer or something like that, where you take it and you just scrub it on the inside of the tip and it does the same exact thing. But I'm old school. I take a sanding band and I just do that. So as you see, as I keep sanding the tip and then going around, I'm making sure that I am letting it fit sidewall to sidewall because this one was a little bit bigger than my actual nail bed. So I keep placing on my nail, looking, okay, maybe it's a little big, And then here I'm like, I need to get the file and actually shape this to fit my nail. Next, I'm going to take my Mia Secret nail prep. This is considered a dehydrator. I personally put this all over my nails because in the beginning you saw me put that cuticle oil. And to make sure that these are actually going to stay on and don't pop, I have to make sure that my whole nail is dehydrated. I know a lot of people will put it on their cuticles, but I am the opposite when it comes to gelx. Now I'm taking the Fazanest Peel Off Base Coat. I don't know how I feel about this base coat, honestly. I noticed that my nails do not want to have these things come off. So I actually bought the Jello base coat because I saw that was like a thing on YouTube and TikTok and everything. And I feel like people have better, peel off with the Jello. This one just will not come off. I have to soak them off, and that's not the point of a peel off in the journey that I want with my nails. So you'll see me put this on all over my nails, and then you want to make sure that you cure this for 60 seconds because it is a cure peel off base coat. You can't just let it air dry. I usually double cure because I like to make sure that stuff is secure and put on, okay? Now I'm taking that same brand, but I'm going to use their rubber base coat. This is basically the glue that you'll use to adhere the tips. So I prefer a nude color on my nails because whenever I paint my nails, I don't know. If I do French, I want to have a pink back. If I just want to do a color, it's not going to be too pink to where you're going to see it through the color, if that makes sense. So what I do is I just fill that tip up with that rubber base. And make sure not to apply this too thick because sometimes if it seeps outside of the nail when you place it on, it's going to look bad. And as you see, as I'm zooming in, you will see how I'm adhering this tip. I'm starting from the cuticle and I let that flood all the way to the top, and make sure you fill up the whole nail without over flooding. And then I'm going to take my Duck Goose lamp and flash cure that. Sometimes you'll get a heat spike, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Just make sure you are flash curing so the nail doesn't lift and it doesn't move. So now you see what it's going to look like after you flash cure that. And then I'm going to take my cuticle pusher and just make sure I clean up the little parts that did seep out. Sometimes you will have that, but it shouldn't be a lot. But you do want to make sure you get it off because I personally hate filing and going over my cuticles 1,000 times. So go ahead and do that for all all fingers, and make sure that you're flash curing all of them before you put it in the big lamp, and you're going to cure it for 60 seconds. I personally do 2 minutes because I'm a weirdo, but 60 seconds is literally all you need and you'll be fine. And this is how they'll come out. Cute. Yeah. So once you have cured your nails and they're all on, you made sure you did the test to make sure they're not going to pop off in 2 seconds, I'm going to take my 100 grit file and I'm going to just shape up my nails, get the edges clean, and just make sure that they're all looking nice. I sometimes like to go over the shape, but I make sure not to trim them too much because sometimes that'll weaken the tip. And that's the last thing you need, is for them to split down the middle because you filed them or cut them too much. They're structured to not be cut. Then I'm going to take I just call it a cone drill bit. I honestly don't know the name of this one, but what I do know is that I like how this one files because it's sharp enough to get in my cuticles, but it's not sharp enough to cut my cuticles off, if that makes sense. It's not going to like nip me. And I just go around the cuticles, clean them up a little bit. Sometimes you will have some leftover gel, so you just want to make sure you're getting that so your nails don't lift once you have nail growth. Then I'm going to take this drill bit and I'm going to go on the inside of my fingers. If you're like me, who does gelx a lot, you will know that sometimes you hate getting stuff stuck under your nails because there's leftover glue. So I personally just file it off and call it a day because I don't have time for that. Oh, look at that piece. That piece just flew off. So I like to have them nice and smooth underneath. Nothing is going to grip. Nothing's going to hang. No hairs, no dust, no nothing. Because that's just nasty. Then we're going to take our sanding band again, and we're going to put this at like medium-ish speed. And we're just going to go over the whole nail. So we're going to buff, make sure we have a matte-like surface because when we paint, we're going to want to make sure that the gel polish stays. I've had some times where I will just use a buffer block and I will file the nail down and the gel polish will just peel off or like it chips. And I've noticed when I started using a sanding band that I have not had this problem because the whole nail is like 100% guaranteed cash back roughed up. So you're just going to do that for all your nails. Go around that cuticle one more time, but be careful because sometimes some people will go too much in the cuticles and that's the last thing you need to happen. And you'll just rough up those nails, making sure they're all roughed up everywhere and clean so we can get ready to do our design. So this is what I call the fun part, okay? I love charms. I'm obsessed with charms. As you see, I have a lot of charms. I'm actually about to put back a charm that I used for an old set. And I don't believe in recycling charms, especially if they're metal and they're expensive. So I'm going to be picking out my bear charms. I actually decided I'm going to put some bows on there too, just to, spice it up. So I'm gonna go with like these what? I cannot talk today. I'm going to go with these cream colored bows that goes well with these charms. And as you see, I got these charms off of Shein for $1.50 for 10. And I'm like, hell yeah, that's a deal. So we're gonna do a head, and then we're gonna do, it's like a little tail. And then this is where I kind of decide whether I want to put them like back to back on my fingers or like space them out and do some jewels. I kind of just start imagining as I'm picking out the charms. Kind of want to do a palm. It's not gonna go. So after I've laid out all my charms, I take a buffer block. I use disposables because like I said, I'm weird. I'm a germaphobe. I'm just like, dispose of it, let's go. I take a buffer block and I'm just going to smooth out all my nails so we can get ready to do the gel polish. I prefer to use the softer side. I honestly don't know what grit this one is. I feel like it's maybe like 180 and 100, so I use the 180 side. And if you didn't know, the higher the grit number, the softer it is. So if it's 80, don't do that. Now I'm going to put all my charms in this. So while I'm painting and slinging stuff and dust everywhere, I want to make sure that there's no dust on my charms, and I just put it in that container until we're ready to go. So before I paint, I always go in with the Macart Prep in 1. It's like a gel glue, a prep, a base, blah blah blah. I go in with that before I put anything on my nails because I feel like it gets a smoother base. And for our French, we're going to use the D&D 870 Tea Time. This is part of their 2023 sheer collection, and I am obsessed. I think I got like 7 colors. And then we're going to use milk chocolate from G&D 055, and we're going to have that as the color of our French nails. So now I like to put out a new bib because I don't know, when I paint, I just don't want any dust or anything. And we like to make sure that we are keeping our hands safe. So before all of this, I put on some sunscreen on my hands, and then I like to put on UV gloves to make sure that when I'm curing like over and over and over, that I'm protecting my hands from the UV. So like I said, we're going to take that Macart Prep gel polish, if you will, and we're going to paint this on all of our nails. I personally like to go in with 2 coats. So I will do 1 coat, cure for 60 seconds, and then we'll go in with another coat, cure for another 60 seconds. And then we will be ready to put on our base color. Alright, so now we're going to go in with that D&D sheer polish, and I actually did 3 coats of this. I know it's supposed to be sheer, but I did not want it to be too opaque, so thank goodness it's thin enough. We could do 3 coats and it would still be nice, not too thick and cute. Like if you can see on my ring finger how sheer it is, that is just with 1 coat. I did not want it that opaque, so I was like, you know what, let's just do 3, call it a day. It won't be too bad. And it didn't, so. And then once again, after you finish, you're going to go ahead and pop that in a lamp for another 60 seconds. And as you can see, I, again with the germaphobe, I spray with my nails with alcohol almost through every layer. So I'll spray my nails with alcohol, and then I'll spray a lint-free pad with alcohol, and I will wipe off that inhibition layer to make sure that it's not going to be sticky and weird if we have to rub off our French, because I freehand my French, so I have to make sure that like I have a smooth base, no sticky layers, just in case I have to go in with alcohol and remove some. So you see, after I do the 3 coats of the D&D polish, once again, I like to shape it up a little bit, just make sure there's no edges, make sure it's not all whatever. I go in with my cone bit again, and I'm just going to go around those cuticles real lightly to make sure that the polish isn't on my nails, or not my nails, on my cuticles. And we're going to put the setting very low. My drill is a 3,000 or 30,000, whatever the standard RPM is, but I put mine very low when it comes to going over my cuticles because I feel like I go over them so much. So we're just going to go around there, make sure we're not getting the polish, but we're just going to go and make sure we clean up before we start the design. Now that we have finished and wiped away that dust from making sure our base was ready, I'm going to take the D&D, or not D&D, G&D gel polish in that milk chocolate color. And I use old, what are these things called? The stuff you use to structure your nail, whatever they're called. I use that as a placement because I actually lost my palette when you put like gel polishes on them. I'm going to take these 2 liner brushes to do my French. And I'm actually going to spray these with alcohol because I hate when new brushes are so stiff and it messes up your line work. So I just spray them, loosen them up, wipe them down a little bit, and make sure that they are ready to go, honey. And then I'm going to take that with that brown polish and freehand my French. So when it comes to round or almond or stiletto nails and I do a French, I typically like to start on the outside and work my way in. So I'm going to line the edges of the nail on both sides before I start working my way in. Kind of get an idea of how deep I want my smile line and just to make sure I'm getting it right and it's not crooked. That's the one thing I'm OCD about, is a crooked French. Like that pinky nail that I already did that you see right there took me about 15 minutes alone. And I was like, ugh. But you see I had to cut out some because I was like taking forever. So you see I went ahead and did my French. I made sure I got the smile line how I wanted it. And then I'm going to go in with the gel polish and fill in what needs to be filled in. And just making sure we coat that. I want to make sure that it's coated right because sometimes I don't like to go with 2 coats when I do my French. I like to make sure it's there and done. And then if you see me shaking, I have very low blood sugar. So if I don't eat and I try to draw something, I'm going to be shaking. It's bad. So no, I'm not nervous. I'm not camera shy, but I just need to eat and I didn't. And as you see, that's how the French came out. I'm looking at it. Okay, you know, it's cute. That's the final product of the French. And of course, we're going to file it again. Just make sure it's clean. Make sure, you know, it's all nice before we wipe it down with some alcohol. And then after we file and shape, we're going to go in with the charms. And then I'll show y'all how to do that. All right, so now that we're done with the French, you know how I am. We're going to take that alcohol, dust everything off, make sure there's no stickiness before we start doing the charms. And I also noticed too, when you take off the sticky layer before you put your charms on, I feel like they stay on so much better. I could just be biased. It could just be me being superstitious. But I've had charms that fell off when I didn't do that because I was like trying to rush. And then I noticed when I started, not me watching Real Housewives. If you know, you know, okay? I have to watch something when I do my nails. But anywho, with the charms, I noticed when I take off the sticky layer, the charms stay on so much better and longer. I have to like literally chop them off because it's so hard. So opening up that jar again, getting our charms aligned, and then we're going to make sure that everything's good. I have my lamp, and I use this Super Diamond Gel by Boslin. Some girl on TikTok actually got me hooked on this. She said she got it from AliExpress. I honestly cannot find it for some reason because I've had this for a while. You don't need a lot. And on TikTok, she was like, yeah, you know, this is the stuff, like blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, everyone says that, you know, XYZ is the shit, but this is the shit, okay? My charms literally never come off. I literally have to pry them off. I bought a tool to chop them off and they still won't come off. But what I do is I put that on there. My microphone cut out. But anyway, I'm going to take this mini UV light that I got from, I want to say Amazon. I'm honestly not sure. I've had it for a while. But I take this little light to make sure I get all around the charm and making sure that everything is curing. And the reason you see me go out of frame is because when I turn my finger around, I was like, this is crooked. No, you got to make sure you get it from all angles. And then you want to flash cure it before you throw it in the lamp to make sure that it's cured. And when I tell you this is cured, you can knock it. I usually will bang it on the table and it will not move. So here I am putting on the rest of my charms, flash curing, making sure I have it right, looking at both angles. I want to see what it looks like when I look at it, and I want to see what it looks like when you look at it. and I'm gonna go ahead and cure that for 60 seconds. And then I'm like, let's add some more jewels. I can never have enough jewels. It's so bad. But there's that. Cute. And then I'm going to take this, I think it's called Koopa top coat. I don't know. Again, I've been influenced on TikTok for this top coat, and I love it. So I'm going to take this top coat and top all my nails. And when it comes to the charms and how to top coat, don't get the top coat on the charms. If you do, just try and wipe it off. I usually just go around the charms because I like to reuse the charms. So if I get top coat on it, it's going to be all messed up. So make sure when you're doing your top coat, go around, make sure it's smooth. Try not to get it on the charms, and it'll still look just as new as if you put the charm after the top coat. And again, don't mind my shaky hands. Let it go. I don't know why I keep laughing. I just think it's funny watching me do my nails like this. Like, I'm so used to doing my nails, and then I like see myself doing it like on a different perspective, and I'm like, you're weird. But whatever. So then we're gonna go ahead and dust off everything. Check it over and over. Look at those. Oh, these would be so cute for a baby shower. You cannot tell me that's not cute. Stop. And then here I am being a little whatever and just showing off as I'm last curing. And look. Yes, you already know. You already know we're about to do the alcohol, so don't even try it. We're going to make sure we wipe off anything. And then we're going to go in with that cuticle oil. Yes, ma'am. We love nourished cuticles. We want to promote healthy nail growth here. No damaged nails on this channel. But that is it, y'all. I'm glad y'all got to watch my first YouTube video. And stick around, like, subscribe. You guys will see more of me and my nail ideas. And I hope to see y'all. Okay. Have a great day, y'all. See y'all next time. Bye.